Well, hello people. I'm coming to you from UT Southwestern Bone Marrow Transplant Unit. This is the new building. I was in the old one. Actually, I think I was one of the last patients to complete their stem cell transplant at the old St. Paul's Hospital before they moved into this shiny, fancy, ultra-modern, really nice place. The room here is not super big, but it's not small either. The TV has Skype on it, email, internet, keyboard attaches to it, and so on. So it's got a great set of features to it. And so it's a hospital room. One thing that's really cool is the view. The view here is like double awesome. Oh, baby Jack here and I have been really enjoying the view. I mean, when you're up on the 11th floor looking out, I mean, how bad can it be? The only thing I've not been crazy about, which can't be helped, is the fog. We've had just tons and tons of fog. And I've tried to do some of my little fun time-lapse videos and whatnot, but I haven't been able to get any that worked because the fog has just been kind of nasty. But anyway, thought I would go ahead and share with you a few things that have been going on. It's been a while since I made a video, so I suppose it's time. Yeah, I'm really happy with my hair these days. All I do is wash it. It's a little crazy, but I guess that happens with curly hair. I just wash it, and I don't put any products on it or do anything to it. I just wash it and let it dry, and ding, there you go. I'm having fun with it. Haven't had but one haircut in 2 years now. I'm starting to look like it. Thinking maybe a haircut might be in order, but I doubt I'll go with any short hair. I think I'll just get it cleaned up a bit and kind of enjoying my long curls. So there you go. Today is September 8th, 2015, and I'm going back to work. Yay. After 15 months off. My hair is much curlier, my scrubs are much looser, and
let's see those scrubs.
They're pretty
with that back to work party, they might get a little bit tighter tonight.
Yeah. I hear there's going to be a party at work tonight, and I am ready for this, as ready as I'm going to be. A little nervous, but that's probably a healthy thing. And after all this time, here we go.
Yay, thank you, Lord.
It's been a lot of fun going back to work. I get to pick up and hold those babies, and I tell you what, I absolutely love taking care of babies. I love education. I love working with the families, teaching them. My colleagues are great. I've really enjoyed meeting the new people. I did find the hours to be a bit tiring, which was expected. And after doing 2 days in a row, I would just go home and collapse. I figured if I have really nothing else to do in life but 3 12-hour shifts in a week, and that's really all I have to do. My goal was to just do 3 12-hour shifts and see if I could maintain that. A little bit of a stretch at times. I felt pretty weak here and there, but that was expected. And I have to build back up. I have to get some level of stamina going again, some endurance. I did okay for a while. Got to do some fun things in life. Yeah. See, in North Texas, we have this uber amazing event that occurs every fall. It's called the State Fair of Texas. And it is just tons of fun. Oodles and gads of fun. I mean, it's the word fun fried up different ways and served with everything fattening. If you've ever eaten a corn dog, corny dog, take them, fry them, those came from the State Fair of Texas. Yes, they did. They've got this fried competition and they see what they can fry, and they fry everything. Fried butter, fried bacon. I'm talking like taking bacon and breading it, frying it. I mean, really, come on. Fried cheesecake, fried Oreos, fried Snickers, fried Frito pies, fried margarita. I mean, if you can fry something, they fry it. And if you can't fry it, they still figure out a way to fry it. And you cannot beat the original Fletcher's corny dog, the ones that started it all. Oh my gosh, those things are awesome. They're absolutely amazing. So I got to go to the state fair and did lots of sitting. It's a big place and a lot of walking, and fortunately there's places to sit, and it's really quite pretty the way they've landscaped it over the years, and they've got some fun things to see and all that good stuff. I had fun with that. Also got to go to the Dallas Arboretum for the Fall Spectacular, and let me tell you what, Dallas Arboretum is a world-class botanical garden. It's just amazing. Had the best time, just the best time. They build these houses out of pumpkins and gourds, and I mean, everywhere you turn, it's Kodak moment, and that's the purpose of it. And it's just really fun. I don't know what else to say. It's over the top amazing. So if you ever get to North Texas and you don't go to the Arboretum, you've missed out. If you live here in North Texas and hadn't been, what are you waiting on? Go. It's a wonderful asset that we have here in North Texas. All right, so what else has happened? Well, a lot. Since my transplant, I've only really had one issue. It's been a recurring issue. But I haven't had, trips back to the hospital for infections and, mean things like that. I have really done very well overall. Profound weakness, that kind of thing, but not a lot of infections. And the big issue I've had has been intestinal stuff, severe nausea and severe diarrhea. Started on Valentine's Day, and it started happening about every 4 weeks. And it would start with abdominal pain and be about 30 minutes of abdominal pain, this very specific, can't miss it type of pain. And that was my clue to hang on. And then it'd be about 4 hours of this intensity. I did not know the body could do that. What I began to call it were my GI seizures, because 2 bucket gator calling sessions. Yes, they were. 1 bucket to sit on and 1 to bury my head in. And I called them alligators all the way from the salt flats of Matagorda, Texas, to the sewers of New York City. Yes, I did. Oh my word. Fortunately, it was only every 4 weeks or so that it happened. And slowly it's evolved to about every 5 to 6 weeks. And then August was my last one until Sunday. I'll get to that in a moment. I got laryngitis about 3 weeks ago. Didn't feel bad. It was just a straightforward laryngitis. Lost my voice. Nothing hurt. No fever. No real drainage or anything going on. And whatever that was, moved it down into the lungs, up into the sinus passages, and I became a pretty sick boy. And it's been 3 weeks now I've been battling this. And it done kicked my booty. Yes, it has. Oh, let me tell you what. I have been to Care Now 4 or 5 times.
Oh no!
One of my doctors once, and she started me back on the IgG. So I'm going to be receiving that again. Just got through with my first infusion of IgG. Haven't had one of these since 2014 before my stem cell transplant, and I'm glad to have that done. I'm going to go by my favorite place to get groceries, which is Sprouts, and see what kind of goodies I can get there. Still dealing with this dang rhinovirus and enterovirus, also known as common cold ×2. But able to make it, and I'm kind of plugging along. So there you have, people. It's a beautiful day. Been to my primary care physician 300, 400, 500 times. It's been a mess. Antibiotics right and left, steroids, which I hate steroids. Steroids are bad. Listen to me. Evil. Not only do they make my sugars go up into the 400s, but then when I stop taking them, I start cramping. We're talking double-legged, synchronized cramps, double half hitch, back. I mean, my legs would just curl up till the back of my feet were touching the back of my head nearly. I'd jump up and down, and I learned how to speak Swahili while breathing in backwards. Oh my word. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And what was even worse, I'd get up and I'd stand there and dance around on my toes and say strange languages and then break the cramp finally. And once I'd break the cramp, I had to just stand there because the back half of the leg, I broke the cramp, and it was as if the front leg decided it had to take over then. So then my toes start curling up backwards, pointing toward my nose. Yeah, you laugh, and I talk about it maybe silly, but I'll tell you what, that was some painful stuff. So as the front of my legs start cramping, I try to break that, which causes the calves to lock up again. And I'd stand there for a good 5 to 10 minutes and go back and forth from the front of my legs to the back of my legs. And this was happening around the clock for 3 days. No sleep. Miserable. Repeat after me. Steroids are evil. Anyway, I'm finally over that, and my sugars have all but returned to normal. It's taken a couple of weeks, and my doctor, my primary care, finally looked at me in the face and said, "So what are you waiting on, the second coming?" He said, "You need to get in the hospital." Whine, bellyache, justify, try to find every reason not to go back in, but I knew he was right. So I went to the hospital, came to UT Southwestern, same place I had my transplant, and that's where I'm at now. But it was that first visit. This is a second visit. First visit, and they admitted me and tried to figure out why I was bringing up all this really yuck stuff from my lungs and why I was so sick. And what they determined was I had 2 different strains of the common cold, rhinovirus and enterovirus. And they jacked me up. I'm telling you what, I have a new respect for the cold, sometimes known as the crud, for those of you who get the crud. So that was a real bad deal. Got to go home the next day. They told me to stop antibiotics, so I did. I stayed at home for 4 days, I guess, and then Sunday hit. And on Sunday, I felt that familiar abdominal pain, and I knew what was coming, and I wasn't a happy camper. Fortunately, it was just throwing up this time and did not involve diarrhea. And I was grateful for that much. I mean, to me, that's improvement. Plus, it's been since August, since the last episode. So altogether, big improvement. But something was different this time. I broke out in a fever. They told me if I have more than 100.4, I have to come to the ER. And there I go again. And I have to say honestly, I don't like admitting this, but I'm going to say it just to be, it is what it is. I'm tired of this. Tired of all this sickness, tired of always having this go on, tired of being off for so long, whatever. And going back to the hospital, it felt like a big failure again. and I got pretty emotional for a short while. Yeah, I got over it, but y'all be kind to cancer people and people who go through these types of things. You can catch them on a day when it just seems to pile up, catch up, overwhelm, and every once in a while there's just something that breaks the camel's back proverbially, and it all just kind of spills out. And that is what happened on Sunday before I came into the hospital, and I just came in pretty blue. And I was pretty sick. So they did a full sepsis workup, started antibiotics, they did a CAT scan and a dog scan and a zebra scan, and who knows what else they did. And they checked this. If there was an opening, they found it. Oh, yes, they did. And if there was a way to draw blood out of something, they drew it out of me. And if there was a secretion coming out of anywhere, they found a way to sample that secretion, which is good. That's what they needed to do. It is now Wednesday, and I'm still here. I can talk better now. I feel better. They put me on some like Texas-sized antibiotics. Oh, they're awesome. And the antibiotics have really made a difference. As well as the breathing treatments they have here are somehow just seem to work so much better than the ones I do at home. They've done an upper GI, which means they put a scope into my stomach, trying to figure out why the abdominal pain, why the nausea. They've drawn lab tests for this, that, the other, mine, yours, and everybody's. And they hadn't been able to find anything. My upper GI, the scope was perfectly normal. Yay! Happy about that. I don't think we're going to really ever find the problem. They're just going to eventually go away, and we'll just chalk it up to one of those things. And they found a little something funny in my sputum, and it grew, but then they kind of backed up and said maybe it was just normal stuff that grew, and they're him-hawing around on that topic. Show y'all something right quick. Check this out. Yeah. I'm going to show you what a hospital can actually do with food when they want to have a good menu. And this place has one of the most amazing menus and some of the best, finest food I've ever had. It's nearly gourmet. I won't call it gourmet, but I'm going to tell you what, it's some of the freshest, best food I've ever had in any hospital. So y'all take a look at this. So here's the menu overall. It's a 4-page fold-out. First off, you get to order anytime you want. And based on what the doctor said your meal plan is, you get to have all sorts of good stuff. And since I'm on an unrestricted menu, I can order from anywhere here, as much as I want, anytime, day. And when I'm ready, I order it and they bring it to me. It takes about an hour to prepare. They don't come up 3 times a day with a bunch of nasty trays saying time to eat. They just let you order when you're ready to eat. And some of this stuff is flat out good. Right here with the hummus and pita, I've really been enjoying that. The string cheese is really good. The strawberry spinach salad is over the top delicious. The chef salad I had last night is really, really good. Their pizzas are pretty good, although I haven't had those since I had my stem cell. They have these side dishes here: sliced carrots, spinach, fresh zucchini, and yellow squash. And I'm going to tell you what, I can't get it any more fresh and cook it any better at home. Sliced and lightly steamed. Oh my word, it was so good. Anyway, you get the idea. I guess I should tell you what's to come, because there's a big change coming up. And it is like, we're talking big. Folks, this is huge. At least it is for me. Some of y'all might not think it's really that big of a deal. When I do get to return to work, which should be about 3 weeks maybe, around the 1st of December, I'm going to come back part-time. And for some of y'all, that may not be a big deal, and some of y'all may just wish you could be part-time, but I really don't want to be part-time. I like working full-time, I like my job. But I don't think my body can take it at this point. So I'm going to be part-time, which is just 2 days a week, 2 12-hour shifts. I don't see why I couldn't do that. I'm going to do that for a good extended season, and they're working with me and just super nice. If and when I get to the point where I feel strong enough and I think I'm ready to add on an extra shift, I can do that. Go back up to full-time, so it doesn't have to be permanently part-time. I found this decision to be a difficult one for me. I don't know, I'm kind of grasping for words here, but the bottom line is it's hit me hard, and I struggled with that decision and felt quite a bit of anger initially, and then kind of melancholy over it. And there's a lot behind the decision. I feel like my ability to provide and protect for my family is diminishing in a big way. It doesn't mean it's a permanent thing, but it could be. And I find that scary. And it'll be okay. I know it will be. But I guess that acceptance of it, just getting used to it and having to make the change, it's a big deal to me. And there's more to it than that. I could go down a list of several things as to why it is kind of a powerful moment for me. But, I've got baby Jack here. It's my buddy. He's a good friend. He'll help me through this. My greatest help, though, will be from my family, my friends, and my God. None of y'all have ever let me down yet. So I know it'll be okay. I'm stepping out in trust. When I share about, feeling frustrated or fearful or emotional or what have you, it's just me trying to be honest about what the experience is like as I walk through it. But I will place my trust in the Lord, and I will trust, relationships and all the right things in life will come through. And, another day it's going to happen. The sun will rise tomorrow, and it'll be okay. All right, so that's all I've got for right now. And let me give you a word of encouragement and admonishment, if I may. Remember what counts most. The greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as self. I titled this whole thing, Love is Greater Than Cancer, after the whole Mark 12:28-31 greatest commandment. A lot of people could argue over who Jesus was, but he claimed to be the Father. He said, if you've seen me, you have seen the Father. I and the Father are one. And Jesus did say something comes first, that there's a greatest priority in life, and that is to love God, love others as self. That's a whole lot of loving, y'all. I kind of like that. That's become my greatest focus in life. More than anything else, I hope that my energies and my abilities would go toward that in some capacity. So, when I tell you to love others, forgive. Lots of forgiveness. You may not always like people or always want to hang around people or what have you, and that can be from work or, friends, family, relationships, whatever. Just, you don't have to be best friends with everybody to love them. And please, forgive. It's not always easy. I'll tell you this much, if you can ask a question to yourself, and this is the question I ask, what do they owe me? If I feel like somebody owes me something, I hadn't forgiven them. Forgiveness is essentially a legal term. It's a financial term in the scriptures, and it refers to the idea that the debt has been erased. Erase the debt of others. Let them be free. You can still have emotion. It means you still remember things, and if they've hurt you, the hurt's still there. But if they don't owe you anything, chances are you have done a forgiveness about as good as anyone human can do. The debt is erased. And I'll close with this thought. This right here is baby Jack Jack. Baby Jack Jack, that's kind of a really neat story. My youngest daughter, Chauncey, was 9. She got really sick. Took her to Cook Children's Hospital, and they were going to do all sorts of, difficult medical things like spinal taps and all that. They brought in this bag full of stuffed toys, and she chose this one, this little bear. It did not have this outfit on. It was just a simple little blue bear. And she held on to that thing tight, too. Yes, she did. Well, time passes, and I forgot about this little blue bear. Last year, when I was having my stem cell transplant, and y'all saw it in the videos, if you've watched them, she went out and got this little Superman, it's an actual baby's outfit, a little Superman one, and she put it on this little bear and brought it up to me. And I was missing my babies at work. Excuse me. And I tell you what, I held on to this thing, I sure did, and snuggled with them, and I can sit there and grab this little old baby. I had to give him a name, and I called him Baby Jack Jack from The Incredibles, if y'all have seen that movie, which, by the way, I really love that movie. I think it's just cute as can be. But I could hold this little baby, and I found myself at that point, and I'd do this, and I'd do like this, because that's what I do with my babies at work when I'm burping them. This is how I burp them. I hold them like this, and then I have a tendency to rub their spine right here real slowly. It gets them to relax. And oh, let me tell you what, those little bips and bips and bop bop as they burp. Funniest thing is, I'm going to tell on myself here. Sometimes when I'm burping my babies, I find myself going, bleh. Who knows why that is. But anyway, so that's Baby Jack Jack's story. So I called him Baby Jack Jack. And when I came to the hospital this time, on Sunday I was so sick. I was a sick puppy. So Chauncey was sweet and helped me pack my suitcase. And she put Baby Jack Jack in there, and I got to the hospital and I opened it up. I think on Monday is when I opened it. And there he was. So I'll show you where he normally lives when he's here. Oh, Baby Jack Jack. He sits right on top of Peter Rita. If y'all watched my videos from my transplant days last year, that's where he sits. Now, during the transplants, he had on masks, and the mask had mustaches on them. This time, he's had on this here stethoscope. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's where he is. He's been sitting here, and he's been on top of PETA. Anybody who's had one of these knows why it's called PITA. And that's all she wrote, folks. So, I love y'all. Appreciate everything. Value your prayers. I want y'all to know that your kindness, your generosity, your prayers has been so appreciated over all this time. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it more than you know. Thank y'all for watching these videos, and I'll probably try to get one out at Christmas time. See you then.